We got to go over to Rock Hill, where we ended up having a 19-year-old who was shot outside her home, but she ended up being an innocent bystander, it turns out. And she was never the real intended target.
Family just shocked. Thanks for joining us live at 5 on your Monday. I'm Siobhan Bryan.
And I'm John Carter. Stunning video of an armed man with a weapon unleashing terror. Now family's heartbroken and the suspected gunman is facing charges.
WBTV South Carolina reporter Rachel Richardson joining us now live with the video that I'm sure some people will find disturbing. Rachel.
Well, this happened very quickly over the weekend. Just a few seconds, gunfire erupts, and now a teenager is dead, and a family is grieving.
She got her, she loves her family. She's there for everybody, and didn't ask for nothing in return. My baby was an angel.
Shafarnia McCullough says her daughter Camaraya was a sweet girl who always kept to herself. She says she loved her family. Saturday night, she was shot and killed in her family's front yard on Mount Gallant Road around 11. This family showed me video of a man who they say had been at their home earlier that day.
And it shows where this man walked in my yard in the broad daylight, shot in my house, right here at this front door.
McCullough says her niece recognized the man as someone who'd recently done work on her car. They called police. Rock Hill PD says that they began their search.
We had a suspect vehicle description and we canvassed the area immediately looking for that vehicle. And then we're able to identify a prior known address for the suspect, and we called our law enforcement partners at the York County Sheriff's Office, asked them to go by and check the home to try and find him at that time.
The family also shared video from later Saturday night. That's when police say they got a second call about the homicide. 34-year-old Sean Hubbard was arrested and charged with murder and possession of a weapon during a violent crime. The Tuesday before, the family says they'd called police about a man who'd shot at their home. Police tell me that a crimes investigator was assigned to the case. Police say they kept an eye on the home, sending out additional patrols. But now, this mom says she feels more could have been done that may have saved her daughter's life.
My daughter was bright, had a future ahead of her. 19 years old, humble. You wouldn't have met nobody better than her. Now she ain't here.
Now, do you feel like they could have done more? It sounds like that it happened on Tuesday when they first shot at the house, or he first shot at the house. And then later on Saturday, he ended up killing them, or killing her. Could the police done more? They said they increased patrol. Should they have had somebody outside the house? Or should they have worked harder to find the suspect? Let's keep going into this.
Police say that they follow up on every call and encourage anyone that feels unsafe to reach out to them. This family says that they want to see justice for Camaraya, and at 6 you can hear more of their concerns.
Of course they want justice. Anybody would want justice for a senseless killing. Let's keep going into this, y'all.
But first tonight, a Rock Hill family is sharing their story after they say days of fear and repeated calls for help ended in tragedy in the death of a 19-year-old. Thank you for joining us here for the news at 5. I'm Vanessa Rufus. Colin Mayfield has the night off tonight. Sean Hubbard is charged with murder after 19-year-old Kamira Tidwell was shot and killed outside the steps of her home on Mount Gallant Road Saturday night. And the family says this is not the first time he's been accused of firing into their home. WCNC Charlotte's Jesse Pierre is joining us live right now from Rock Hill. So, Jesse, how did this all start?
Well, the family tells me that they met Sean Hubbard after a family found him on Facebook and hired him to fix a car on the property. And then things turned sour. And tonight, a mother is grieving the loss of her daughter while also questioning if more could have been done to protect her family.
She's gone. My child will never come back.
A mother devastated after her daughter, 19-year-old Kamaria Tidwell, was shot and killed outside her home in Rock Hill Saturday night.
And she was so innocent. She was the angel in the family.
They say the violence started Tuesday when bullets came flying into their home.
He shot 4 shotgun rounds through my son's room, and my son and my grandson were laying in that bed.
For a week straight, he stalked my family's home.
After the shooting, the family installed security cameras, which they say captured video of 34-year-old Sean Hubbard, back at the home Saturday night, firing through the front door. No one was home at the time. Rock Hill Lieutenant Michael Chavis says once Hubbard was identified, they tried to track him down. The family says they asked police to stay while they packed up to leave.
We did keep officers in that area for a while. They continued to circulate and look for the car, but unfortunately he managed to come back.
Just hours later, video allegedly shows Hubbard walking up from the side of the home, eventually out of view, firing his weapon, killing Kamaria before running off.
Oh, see, they did make so did they ask them to stay? Because it sounded a little weird. Now they said they asked the officers to stay till they packed up and leave. So I'm assuming they said they was watching the area and they didn't just have somebody just staying there watching. But they might have, I might have heard it wrong. But let's keep going into this.
Told them to stay here. We told them. They failed us the third time.
Hubbard is facing several charges, including murder, possession of a weapon during a violent crime, and discharging a firearm into a dwelling. He remains in jail without bond. Live in Rock Hill, Jesse Pierre, WCNC Charlotte.
The world is a crazy place.
In Rock Hill, police say that a 19-year-old woman shot and killed was not the intended target. I'm Erica Bryant.
I'm Scott Wickersham. Police are calling it a senseless crime on Mount Gallant Road in Rock Hill. Our South Carolina reporter Tina Terry spoke to that woman's mother today. Tina, she just wants people to know how kind her daughter was.
Yeah, she actually used the three words loving, compassionate, and kind when referring to her 19-year-old daughter who was killed outside of her own home by a man that she didn't even know.
She was an angel.
Shafania McCullough talking about her youngest child.
I do have a question. Who was the intended target? And why was he targeting them in the first place? They said that they hired him to do some work on a car. What did they, I mean, I'm not trying to put any, any saying that it was the victim's problem. Of course not. But what caused this? That's my main thing. Did they not pay him? Did they not pay him enough? Did they feel like they didn't need to pay him? Did he not do anything and he got mad? What was the reason? Or was he just somebody crazy who wanted to kill somebody?
Child Kamaria Tidwell, pictured here.
My daughter was bright, intelligent, harmless, loving and compassionate.
But that 19-year-old who was so peaceful was gunned down in her own yard Saturday. Police say this man she didn't even know pulled the trigger, 34-year-old Sean Xavier Hubbard. The family believes this all started last week on Tuesday. Someone fired 4 shots into the family home. Then Saturday around 8:30 p.m., a Ring camera recorded this man believed to be the suspect firing a weapon at the front door. The family called police.
So our officers responded. We had 8 officers respond to that initial shooting call. They started working it. We worked it for an hour and a half. During that time, we identified a potential suspect who's the same suspect in our murder. We also had a suspect vehicle description, and so we began trying to find that in the immediate area.
He says they were able to work with other agencies to find an address for the suspect, but he was not home. In the meantime, the family, rattled by 2 shootings, was at home trying to pack up and leave.
I asked them, could the police stay here till me and my family got up some stuff and find out where we could go, because clearly we was not safe here. Because this man didn't care. They told me they could say, let one officer stay. He went across the Helens and sat there. And he probably was there 15 minutes. And he came in the yard and he said he had to leave.
She says a short time later, the suspect came back and shot into the yard, killing her daughter. Now she wants justice.
He's pure evil. I want justice. This man took my daughter's life.
Now we finally understand what she means by the police did nothing. Now, good question. Good question is mainly is, do you feel like that they should have stayed? Because they said we'll leave one officer here, and then he left within 15 minutes. As soon as he left, An hour or so later, the suspect comes back and shoots at the house again, killing the 19-year-old. Is the murder on the police? Of course, it's on the suspect, but should the police be held some form of liability? They said they didn't feel safe. They asked you to stay there, but then you leave, and then the suspect gets a chance to come and kill someone? Absolutely crazy, y'all. Let's get over into this AI breakdown just to see what else we can find out about this situation. So as we know, the 19-year-old woman was shot and killed outside her home in Rock Hill, South Carolina on Saturday night, May 16th. It was by 34-year-old Sean Xavier Hubbard of Clover, charged him with murder and possession of a weapon during a violent crime. As they noted that she was not the intended target, and was just an innocent bystander. So as we know, it was attacked. The home was first shot at on Tuesday. In the daytime on Saturday, he came and shot at the front door. And then Saturday night at approximately 11 p.m., Hubbard allegedly returned to the residence, and she was shot in the yard of the home and later died from her injuries. So he was located and arrested by law enforcement roughly 10 miles away from the road. He is currently being held without bond. While an official motive has not been finalized by the Rock Hill Police Department, family members believe the suspect may have been disgruntled over the vehicle mechanic contract agreement. The mother had publicly expressed her devastation and questioned the speed of police response. She knew that the family was actively trying to pack up and flee the home due to the repeated attacks and felt law enforcement could have done more to protect them between the shootings. I mean, it seems to be understandable. So let's see if any more details on the suspected motive. That's what I want to see. Now, remember, we got to wait for the official police statement to come out, but give us an idea. So the suspect's motive stems from an escalated financial and personal dispute over the vehicle repair job gone wrong. While official investigators have not formally released a definitive motive, detailed account from the victim's family outlined how social media hiring arrangement rapidly developed into a targeted harassment. So a family member found him on social media and hired him to perform the mechanical work on her car. Tensions escalated over a disagreement involving money and the quality of the job. That's what I thought. The victim's cousin explicitly told Hubbard she no longer wanted him working on her vehicle. According to the cousin, Hubbard immediately threatened her, prompting her to prompting her to block his number. The family reported that Hubbard spent a week stalking and terrorizing their home prior to the fatal incident. He allegedly targeted the home multiple times, including a shooting on May 12th before returning twice on Saturday. Because the dispute was strictly with the cousin, the Rock Hill Police Department reiterated that the 19-year-old was entirely separate from the conflict and was an innocent bystander. All this because they wanted him to stop working on their car. They were unsatisfied with the work. And I'm assuming they didn't want to pay him because they were unsatisfied with the work. Wow. Be careful who you allow around you and in your home, or not even in your home, but just to work with you. They found this man on Facebook saying that he can fix what they needed fixed. But he ended up, as soon as they tried to get rid of him, he entered a thing of harassment. Tried to harass them, shoot at them, threaten them, and ended up ultimately killing a 19-year-old who had nothing to do with it. Yeah, he needs to get the maximum, as maximum as he can. But absolutely crazy situation, y'all. Let me know your thoughts on that situation, and let me know if you disagree with anything I said. That's a wild situation.